What is up, YouTube? I'm back for you guys with another sonic screwdriver review. Actually, you know what? I don't think I've done any sonic screwdriver reviews. That's kind of sad. Another Doctor Who prop review. Today we're going over my Wand Company 10th Doctor sonic screwdriver, which has been reviewed to death on YouTube, but it's my turn, so whatever. To start off, we're going to start with the case. The thing it's packaged in. It's packaged in this really stupidly sturdy plastic case. It also has a cardboard box, which I have, but it's beaten up, so I'm not showing you guys. But the plastic case, it's kind of like a glasses case. It's quite weighty too. It's got the Wand Company logo on the bottom there, and then a glossy engraving of the 10th Doctor screwdriver there on the front cover. And opening this thing is just satisfying. You pop that thing open, and you're presented with everything that comes with the Sonic. So everything is packaged in this foam rubber latex, which has some like timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly Gallifreyan something or other engravings in it, and it's super, super soft and sturdy and super protective. So this was really, really good for this Sonic, which you can't get anymore at retail, which is sad, but we'll talk about that later. So this Sonic is right here. You can take the Sonic out. We'll talk about that in a second. We'll talk about its accessories first. So it comes with its charger cord, because this thing is rechargeable, which is a blessing and a curse. We'll go over that as well a little bit later. My charger cord happens to be tangled, and now I am distracted trying to untangle it. Oh, this is tragic. It's okay, we'll worry about that later. So, just a simple micro USB charger. I don't think that was in focus, but you guys know what those look like. And then you take out one of the foam inserts, and here's our display base, which we'll go over in just a moment. Take out the other one, and you've got this. This is pretty cool. This is a readout of this is like the actual blueprints, by the way, of the Wand Company 10th Doctor Sonic. So that soundboard is actually the soundboard. This circle here, that's the speaker. Then that's your switch plate. Down here, it's the magnet in the base for the display base. That's the recharger. I've taken it apart, so I know what it looks like. Anyway, this thing is like surprisingly accurate. And all of the stats they have over here, they're accurate. The only thing I don't like about this is it calls it Earth Tech relatable or repeatedly, which makes me sad because it kind of breaks your immersion, but whatever. And then on this side you have your instructions, which are very clear, but I don't need them because I've been watching videos on this thing since I was like 10. So anyway, let's real quick go over the display base. So display base, simple. It's just a Gallifreyan writing circle metal. It's got a little foam on the bottom so that doesn't scratch whatever surface. It also gives it a bit of traction. And then I think it's this circle. In this circle here, there's a magnet. And there's another magnet in the bottom of the end cap. It stands up just like that. Move that a bit more in the frame. It's not my favorite solution because it is a little warbly, but it is pretty nice. If you have a sturdy shelf, you can display this on. As far as the charger, to use it, you just pop this guy off. Just a little soft plastic end cap. Pops off. Make sure that it's not extended so that you have the recharge port right there. Then you just plug this into a wall outlet or like a computer or something, and then just plug that in the right orientation into the bottom. And when you do that, this will light up, and once it's done charging, it'll light up green, and it'll say power cell regenerated. So that is the overview of the accessories. Let's go over the design of the Sonic itself. All right, so this Sonic is based on the Series 4 gray Roboto prop. And it was actually scanned from one of the original props, so it does have some lineage to the original props, which is really neat. Especially since this thing, when it was for retail, was only $100. Like, you could, oh, gosh, this thing was such a steal back then. Now this goes for anything from on eBay, which is the only place you can get it, or I guess Facebook Marketplace if you're lucky. I don't know why that would be lucky, except for maybe if like some soccer mom is selling it and puts it up for like $50. But anyway, you can get this thing for like $600-800 these days, and it's a really hefty price. But I was willing to put it in for the features it has, which we'll be going over later. So anyway, its physical appearance. I have a slightly more accurate replica to compare it to, just to help me make my points. This is a Series 4 replica from Danger Industry with a MFX style paint job. There's also a little bit of glue or something sticking out the top. It's not well put together right now. It's my fault. It was a kit and I put it together badly, but we're just using it for its proportions, so it's fine. So first thing I want to talk about here is the shape of the emitters. So you can see, oh, it's so slight. The shape of the windows, oh, maybe I'm even cracked. I don't know. The shape of the windows is ever so slightly more rounded on the Wand Company, and it should be just a tad bit more square like it is on this one. The emitter is slightly more domed. Doesn't have like this straight side like it should, but I actually prefer the more domed one, so I don't mind. The struts are just slightly thinner than they should be, which might be what's causing that roundness that I was talking about. Let's see, outside of that, this is actually proportionally wrong, so ignore these. I'd say these are more accurate. But proportionally, I'd say everything else is about spot on. This end cap is also fairly inaccurate. The only other thing that I would say is slightly inaccurate is this groove is a little too shallow, but it's so slight it doesn't bother me. Maybe the slider is a bit wide. It definitely doesn't stick out from the body as far as it should, which is slightly problematic because you can see that there's some wear and tear on the body here. That might be my fault, because when I first got this thing, the slide was really tight, so I was pressing down quite hard. So might be my fault. Let's see, what else? What else can we go over here? The crackle. So let's go over material accuracy first. So material accuracy, this is a slightly different plastic, but it's not going to bother anyone. It's really well done. It looks fantastic. The aluminum is slightly lesser grade, but again, this thing was $100 when it came out, so it makes sense that it should be, but it's gorgeous the way it is. It's at least just metal. The biggest downside to the only notable downside to materials that I would say you have with this Sonic is that the body is plastic. I have a solution for that. There is a seller on Instagram called SSE Props. I don't know what SSE stands for, but that's what it is. And he made metal body conversions for these. So I have already purchased one. I just have to send my Sonic to him to get it done, and it's properly crackle painted instead of having this engraved crackle, which I have filled with a black acrylic wash. So yeah, you can get metal bodies for these from custom sellers if they're available, and if you do, well done. They come out really good like that, and then you have a fully metal remote control Sonic screwdriver. So then your end cap is pretty accurate. Everything is just gorgeous on this thing. Overall, one of my favorite looking Sonics in my collection. Now let's compare it size-wise to the rest of the Sonics that I have. So we will start off by comparing it to a couple of other 10th Doctor sonic screwdrivers that I have, like this Character Options 10th Doctor Sonic, although I'm pretty sure that's a knockoff, but we're not going to talk about that. And then we already did a pretty in-depth comparison, but just for consistency's sake, here is the Danger Industry MFX one that I have. You can see just how big this behemoth is, the Character Options. We'll give it an extension real quick on both of these, or all three of these, I guess. You can see that even extended, this Wand Company Sonic maintains its proportions pretty well. And the Character Options completely falls on its face. So here we have it with its other Wand Company Sonic screwdrivers, the 11th and 12th Doctor ones. And here it is extended with the 12th Doctor Wand Company Sonic. 11 is clearly compensating, or 12, I guess. Here it is with the 12th Doctor's Character Options Sonic screwdriver, one of the good Sonics they released. Here it is with the 10th Doctor's Psychic Paper. Here it is with Sarah Jane's Sonic Lipstick. And here it is with my other prized Sonic, my Celestial Toy Store 11th Doctor Sonic Screwdriver replica. And there they are, extended together. And last but not least, here it is with a lightsaber, the 89 Sabers OWK3. All right, now going over features for this thing. This thing is jam-packed with them. So when you get this thing, let me put this thing, it will come like this. It's turned off, and it's in practice mode. So when you turn it on, you do that by holding this button. That button will light up just like it would if it was charging, and it'll say practice mode. Now practice mode okay, doesn't do that one. It's just a gesture practice mode so that you can practice the gestures that you'll need to control your TV, which I will show you in a minute. Next mode is control mode. Now, control mode has 3 different memory banks. So you have, now when it's in control mode, you just gesture control it. Like I was just showing. You don't use the button, which is kind of sad. I wish that the gestures were locked behind the button so that you could just hold the button and then do the gesture so that it wasn't going off all the time when you're just moving it. But whatever. That's not why I bought this anyway. I didn't buy this to be a remote control, sort of. We'll go over that in a second. So 3 memory banks. You access the other ones by pressing the button 3 times.
Memory bank B, memory bank C, memory bank A.
All right, so you have 3 memory banks, A, B, and C. And then you can just gesture. That means you can control 3 different devices, or theoretically a lot of different devices if you spread the controls over all of the different controls and all of the different memory banks, 1 control for each device, but you're being pedantic. So the way you set this up, let me go get a remote control and show you how you program this function. All right, so to go into into programming mode, to control the what is programmed into each gesture, you press 3 times and hold on the 3rd.
Entering programming mode, memory bank A.
So it will, you can switch memory banks in this too.
Memory bank B, memory bank C, memory bank A.
And then the way you do this, you just do whatever command you want to execute. So we'll go with double press.
Double press. Okay.
Then you just press the control on the remote towards the emitter, and it'll detect that infrared signal and program it to that control that you did. So then we'll just do up. Sometimes it's a little finicky. Come on. Ah, why didn't you do it? All right, we'll do this. There we go. Seems like I might be messing up because I am in an awkward position. There we go. I also think I'm just not holding it close enough. Oh, there we go.
Please press remote button again.
There we go. So you do that over and over again until you have all the controls you want. You can see how tedious that can get. So it is a bit annoying, but once you've got it programmed, you've got it programmed, right?
Exiting programming mode. Control mode. Memory bank A.
Press it once to exit programming mode, and it'll just put you right back into control mode into the memory bank you were just programming. And then, obviously I'm not controlling anything, so this isn't really good evidence, but I will show you in a minute this working on our TV.
Quiet control mode.
Press it one more time to switch modes, and you've got quiet control mode. Which is just, it just uses clicks instead of the sonic sound. Now this is my favorite mode. So this is the one that I'm using all the time because I use this thing for cosplay. So this basically turns this into a prop. It means that you're not draining the power, because in the other modes it drains power subtly out of the battery just as it's sitting. But this one, it's basically turned off right now. But then you press the button, and boom, it sonics for you. And you just press it once and hold, and it does the basic sonic sound, and you can wave it around. It's just perfect, right? No gesture, no sounds being made, nothing like that. It's great. But then you give it a double press. Oops, sorry, that was a triple press. You give it a double press, and then you go make a gesture like you were controlling it. And it's got all of those sounds. Maybe I missed one. I don't think I did, but if I did, I did. All of the gestures have a control or have a sound except for double click, which is sad. But in order to make up for the lacking double click sound, if you press it 7 times, you get like a nuclear warning sound, which is pretty fun. So has a bunch of different sounds, which just adds to the cosplay stuff. So if you double press and you just, oh, that was triple press again. And you do that, then you've got like more options, more ability to be dynamic with your sonic. This feels like more of a scanning sound. And then you've got your like tracking sound, which he uses this sound in Doomsday. So this is an actual 10th Doctor sonic sound. Then you got your, oh, this was used in the Sea Devils, along with this one, I believe. You got a broken one, your classic sonic sound. Just really, really cool. Really, it brings up the prop nature of this so much. Your sonic screwdriver should be as sonic as possible. All right, next feature. I believe you can do this in any of the modes, but I'll show you here. It has a lock function. So if you press 4 times, it enters a lock creation thing. So then I'm just gonna do a basic one. You enter, all right, 3, 3, 3. So you enter how many clicks you want for any specific, so it's like, you can do 1, 2, 3, and then it's just like a 3-digit lock code, right? And then you just click as many times as you want for that specific digit. So if I turn it back on,
Please enter unlock code.
so if I mess up, it gets mad at me.
Sorry. Please enter unlock code. Okay. FX mode.
And now I can use it. That will put it into a deep sleep mode when it's in FX mode. So I don't generally use the lock code. To delete the lock code, you just press it 5 times.
Erasing lock code.
Makes a very satisfying sound. So that's it for FX mode, except for that it has some remote control functionality. It gives you a TV Begone function, which is the best thing that this Sonic does. This is the coolest party trick ever. So you show up to a party dressed up as the 10th Doctor, and the TV is going, and then you just walk up, you press this button 3 times, and you hold on the 3rd. And it cycles through a bunch of infrared codes, and it'll turn on or off just about any TV. The only one this doesn't work on is those Roku TVs. That's the only ones I've had problems with, because those are controlled by radio, or some other signal, not by infrared, which is how this thing works, obviously. But this will work on just about any infrared-controlled TV. And maybe another infrared device if that infrared device happens to run on a TV on or off signal. So sometimes I just screw around and see if it'll work. But if you want to do it stealthy to really annoy people, you just press it and hold it on the 4th one. And it does it silently. So that's TV Begone. I'll show you that one when we go down to the TV as well. So that should be about it for the features. If I click one more time, we're back in practice mode.
Control mode. Memory bank.
To turn it off, you just hold until it turns off and makes that satisfying sound. Now it's off. But I don't generally turn it off. I just keep it in FX mode because it's basically off, just with more fun. So yeah, let's take this down to the TV and show you how it functions. Actually, one more thing before we go and do that. I want to discuss a problem that this Sonic has. I love this Sonic to death, but there's one issue. So these things are old, which means sometimes they require maintenance. So with mine, when I got it, the connection between the neck and the acrylic rod was loose. And that meant the head, when I was playing with it one day, had come off. And it pulled the wires with it. So when the wires came with, they untucked. There's a bit of red and black wire tucked in with the soundboard down in here that you can't see. And those came up and it made it look ugly, and I couldn't get the head back on properly. So I had to take the collar off to fix it. And the collar doesn't have an easy way to come off. This thing is a pain in the butt to come off. So this is the original one that was on here, and you can see just how battered it is. I was going to have to deal with this problem one way or another. Since then, I've learned of a better way to take the collar off. To do that, what I've been doing, what I was taught by the guy who sent me this new collar that I have on it, thank you a lot, same Sonic, different case. He taught me how to do this. He uses a pair of nail clippers, and he uses like the lever, and then he just sticks that there, pushes up, and that'll push up on it. I'm not going to do it right now because I don't want to, but push up on that and it should come off, and then you just use a piece of plastic, something soft, to get it the rest of the way off. So if you do have to take this off, do try and use that method. Use this and just pop it off through here. Now you can see when he did that to this collar, it did seem to take a little bit of damage, but it's dramatically better than trying to use pliers or something, or like a knife, and wedging it under here and causing all this crap. So don't do what I did. Don't be as stupid, and do that for your collar. If you need to take it off, that's the way to do it. If you have to change the battery, because these batteries do get drained after a while, these are like decade-old props, take off the bottom. Do it through here. I've seen people do it like that before, and it completely, you don't have to do the collar. So if you can avoid it, avoid it. But I wish they had threaded this on or something so that you could get in here without having to break it, but I understand why they couldn't. Or if they had done it like the actual prop and made it so that the collar was the male connector and then had a retention screw, that's what I would have liked naturally. So anyway, let's go down to the TV and show you what this thing can do. All right, so we're going to start off in TV Be Gone so that I can show you or in FX mode so I can show you the TV Be Gone function. So, click it 3 times. TV Be Gone, but also TV Be On. And then we will do
Memory bank A.
as you can see, it does control the TV. Yeah, I won't be able to control it from here. Except some of the other controls left over from other things are controlling the DVD player down there. So, oh, here, wait, I can do this. Let me zoom back out. Making so much noise. It's almost like it's Sonic. Nice. Anyway, that's all for this Sonic Screwdriver review. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.